Well, it is a final against the Chicago Sky, and it was the worst nightmare that the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese could have possibly imagined. Angel Reese, boy, she's ate up with class, is she not? Wow. Standard operating procedure foul. ESPN, your anti-Caitlin Clark agenda on full display. Going on and on about how that needs to be a flagrant foul. You didn't say a word about a flagrant foul prior to going to break.
The WNBA season didn't just open, it exploded. In a showdown that's already being hailed as the fiercest battle of the year, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark reignited one of basketball's most electrifying rivalries. When the Indiana Fever clashed with the Chicago Sky, it was more than a game. It was a grudge match. Sparks flew as Caitlin Clark, the Fever's sensational rookie, unleashed a controversial flagrant foul that sent Reese crashing to the floor. The arena erupted, the tension thick enough to slice with a knife, and the drama that began in the NCAA came roaring back under the bright lights of the pros. This wasn't just basketball. This was personal.
By the way, after the supposed hard foul, with some LeBron James-looking flops if I ever saw them. By the way, Caitlin Clark, a triple-double. 20 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Aaliyah Boston, 13 rebounds, 19 points. Natasha Howard, 15 points. Kelsey Mitchell, 15 points. Angel Reese, 17 boards, 12 points, and a losing effort. What do you guys always hear me say on this channel? Just about like clockwork, if she gets a double-double, they're going to lose the game. They're going to lose the game. She shot 35% from the field. 35% from the field.
It all went down in the third quarter. Angel Reese sliced through the lane, eyes locked on the rim, when suddenly, boom. Caitlin Clark's arm shot out midair, slamming Reese and sending her crashing to the hardwood. The refs didn't hesitate, flagrant foul. But for the fans, a whistle wasn't enough. Twitter ignited, Instagram Reels exploded, and WNBA Reddit became a war zone of opinions. Was it just a hard playoff-style foul? Or was Clark settling an old score? Watch the footage closely. It's hard to see this as anything but payback wrapped in hardwood fury.
Get to the foul, because I know you guys are going to want me to break this down.
Too strong on a
right
three.
Here it is right here. She comes in, gets a little grab around her, trying to kind of hold her, really.
Afterwards, has
and
something
Angel
to say
Reese
as
loses her mind.
Walks away.
If you can't tell me there is not
around
true
the matchups between
animosity,
Reese and
jealousy,
Clark
and
Angel
agenda
Reese,
ate up right there with that player, I don't know what to tell you. That was a big nothing. Wow. Especially after everything that Caitlin Clark dealt with last year. It's unbelievable. This is another view right here of Angel just really dropping F-bombs. I think she says, you're effing crazy, something like that, blah, blah, blah. You crazy as F. What the F is wrong with you?
Let's rewind. Angel Reese, drafted by the Chicago Sky and already shaking the league with her fierce play and fearless voice, stepped onto the court with more than just a game plan. She came with a mission. Known for calling out the league's bias, Reese hasn't been shy about the media's obsession with Caitlin Clark or how it sidelines the achievements of black women in the WNBA. Just days before tip-off, she fanned the flames by liking tweets that claimed Clark was the league's golden girl, shielded by favoritism. So when the Sky faced the Fever, everyone knew this wasn't just about hoops. This was a statement.
My goodness. By the way, this is Angel Reese right after Caitlin Clark hit that three-pointer at the buzzer going into halftime. Guys, this game, this is what a sellout looks like. 17,274 fans, and it was fully sold out. It was packed. This game was not close, folks. 93-58. And my God, by the way, Dave Portnoy won $350,000. He placed a $25,000 bet on a Caitlin Clark triple-double right before tip-off, and he won $350,000.
Clark wasn't just playing. She was proving a point. After weeks of noise questioning her defense and calling her overhyped, Caitlin Clark hit the floor with something to prove. By halftime, she'd already racked up 12 points and 6 assists, running the offense like a seasoned pro. But beyond the stats, it was her focus that spoke volumes. Every time Angel Reese stepped up to guard her, the air thickened. Elbows flew, box outs turned brutal, and the stare downs after every whistle? Ice cold. This wasn't just competition, it was a showdown written in bad blood.
Jason Whitlock, other than jealousy, what is Reese's motivation for animosity towards Clark? I said she's jealous AF. She sees the attendance, the ratings, gate revenue. It's not close. She's a media-created rival. ESPN played right into it with that flagrant foul BS.
Now let's talk numbers, because the box score lit up just as much as the drama. Caitlin Clark silenced her doubters in the loudest way possible, notching a jaw-dropping triple-double. 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. A walking headline turned highlight reel. She made one thing clear. This isn't just hype. It's legacy in the making. But Angel Reese didn't back down for a second. She dominated the glass with 17 rebounds and battled her way to 12 points, absorbing contact like a warrior in the paint. Impressive? Absolutely. But those numbers? They barely scratched the surface of the chaos, tension, and raw energy that unfolded on that court.
Right here. Let's look first logo 3 of the year.
From her catching around
right
that
here.
15-foot area.
From way to boom. Yeah, knocked it down right there. That was the first one of the year for Caitlin Clark. My goodness, here we are right here. This is going to be
that from her
going
catching
down
around that 15-foot area. Clark,
same one, boom. That was on a little screen, folks.
Season from Caitlin.
All right, that was a little. Yeah, you can see a Draymond Green kind of moving screen right there, setting it up for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark doing a little bit of everything. Look at this right here. Coming down the court.
Spinning.
Natasha Howard's cutting under the rim right there with the little finger roll lay-in. Beautiful, beautiful work right there.
After the final buzzer, the spotlight didn't dim. It shifted. Reporters swarmed both stars, hungry for quotes to match the fireworks on the court. Caitlin Clark tried to douse the flames, brushing off the flagrant foul as just a basketball play, insisting there was no bad blood. But body language doesn't lie. When Reese hit the floor, Clark never extended a hand. That silent decision said more than any post-game statement could. And as she walked through the tunnel, barely hiding a smirk, it was clear. Whatever Clark said, she wasn't just walking away from a game. She was walking away from a statement she knew had already landed.
Caitlin Clark's dish to Aaliyah Boston. This was her 10th assist for what was her double-double at the time before it became a triple-double. Let me just back up.
Clark
Boom, let's
gets it
go.
back from Boston.
And she's just going to pass it
Now
right over.
bounces to
We'll pull
her.
up Jay.
Boston
Boom.
drops it in.
Right there. And that was the double-double again before the triple-double.
Angel Reese wasn't about to let the moment pass in silence. In a fiery post-game press conference, she lit the fuse. I know what this is. I know how they treat players like me. But I'm not backing down for anybody. She didn't say Caitlin Clark's name, but she didn't have to. The room felt the heat. Minutes later, Reese took to Twitter and dropped a single word that sent the internet into a frenzy. Bet. Just one word, and over 1 million impressions in under an hour. Fans knew what it meant. This wasn't just beef with Clark. Reese was taking on the whole narrative machine. And then things escalated. Fast. Courtside footage surfaced showing Clark shouting something toward the sky bench after the foul. Lip readers jumped in, many claiming she said, "Try that again." If true, this wasn't just a hard foul. It was a direct challenge. A battle line drawn. And the war? Very much on.
In case you're wondering, this is one of the screenshots that was taken New Year, same Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark blocks Angel Reese's 4-foot 2-point shot. By the way, let me not forget that. Angel Reese had 4 blocked shots in this game. Aaliyah Boston had 5, including 3 in a row. One of them was on Angel Reese. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses 2-point shot. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses layup. I mean, we're right back to where we were last season. I told you guys not a lot was going to change.
Now the media machine is in full spin mode. ESPN aired a segment praising Caitlin Clark for her competitive fire, while branding Angel Reese as emotionally reactive. That split-screen narrative hit a nerve. Fans weren't buying it. Especially not after watching both players go head-to-head in the same storm of tension and intensity. Social media lit up, calling out the glaring double standard. When Clark shows emotion, it's passion. When Reese does it, it's a problem. The race and class dynamics at play here aren't just subtext, they're front and center. And this time, the fans aren't letting it slide.
And I'm here to tell you, Angel Reese has broken her silence about Caitlin Clark and the Fever putting the beats on them. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Even the legends are chiming in. Aya Wilson didn't mince words, tweeting, "These rookies bring the fire, but let's be real about who gets to play aggressive without judgment." Meanwhile, Candace Parker kept it cryptic but loaded, posting an Instagram story with a popcorn emoji and the caption, "Game on." The veterans see what's happening. They've lived it. And now, they're watching this new generation not just compete, but challenge the status quo.as for the league? Silence. No word yet on whether Caitlin Clark will face fines or suspension for the flagrant foul, and fans are already calling foul on the WNBA itself. Other players have been disciplined for far less, and the lack of accountability is starting to feel like complicity. Reese was sent flying midair, with no apology, no consequences, and a media spin cycle painting her as the villain. But if the league won't fuel the rivalry, the fans absolutely will. Within 24 hours, StubHub reported a 300% spike in searches for next month's Fever vs. Sky rematch. Ticket sales are surging, anticipation is boiling, and one thing is crystal clear. The WNBA didn't need to market this rivalry. The fans turned it into a spectacle all on their own. And come round two, everyone's going to be watching.
Its blowout win over the Chicago Sky. The game was filled with a bunch of drama. There was a lot of tension between Angel and Caitlin, and I'm here to tell you, Angel did speak with reporters immediately after the game. Caitlin Clark captured a triple-double, and with all that being said,
Angel Reese didn't back down. In fact, she doubled down. The very next day, she went live on Instagram warning, "Don't let the smiles fool you. I'm here to dominate. If you come for me or my team, we're coming back harder." Reese also dropped a tantalizing hint about the drama the cameras didn't catch. Y'all haven't even heard half of what was said on that court. This war isn't just physical. It's mental, verbal, and psychological. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's camp has stayed mostly quiet, but insiders reveal she's feeling the heat. Despite her triple-double heroics, fans and players alike are now watching her every move with a sharper eye. The whispers that she's protected by the league could start casting long shadows over her legacy before it even truly begins. This rivalry is bigger than basketball. It's a cultural moment, a lightning rod for conversations about generational change, racial dynamics, and media bias in sports. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark didn't just clash. They sparked a narrative that's dividing fans, rallying others, and shining an intense spotlight on the WNBA like never before. And much of that attention comes from the raw, unapologetic, sometimes messy reality of its rising stars.
How did you feel like you guys did in those three areas?
Yeah, I don't think we did them at the best that we could. Obviously, first game, we got to look back at the film and do things better. I think we definitely had good spurts where we could see that we could definitely get back and definitely rebound and definitely play in transition. So I think we'll just go back to the drawing board and look at those things.
How do you put this game in perspective with what you guys want to accomplish in big picture?
Yeah, I mean, it's May. We don't want to look the same now in July. So take one game at a time. Like Coach said, we have 43 games left. So just taking our time day by day and learning from mistakes.
This process early, have the ball in.
Yeah, trying to control tempo, trying to give some versatility and give some options to pull out the paint, to give Mill some options, and also for our shooters on the outside.
Aaron, can I ask you kind of the same question on defense? Like, what areas do you think you guys did well and which ones you want to build on?
I want to build on our communication. I think what we did well was trying to find a way to scramble for each other when we didn't give up on the plays. But like she said, I mean, we'll get better. We'll get better.
You go for players? Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on just the shot quality and what you guys got to really get open close to the first half. Just want to get your assessments.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got some great shots. We may not have made them all, but I think, obviously, like you say, it's game one. Being able to look back and 20 games down, finishing those and hitting those shots. So it's good to see that we can execute at half court and just being able to get those shots and get those open looks.
Foul, things like that. You said basketball. How much emphasis you want to put on that as competitive?
She's already answered this question. We're going to next.
In the last one, offhand finishing, how much you work on that with right hand? Work a lot.
I'm right-handed, so.
We did see some of what you were talking about the newer way you're going to play, right? I mean, it's stuff we saw you on the perimeter, we saw you in both three. What was your comfort level with that style in a game?
Yeah, I felt fine. obviously some more shots, more opportunities I could have made tonight. So just going back to the drawing board and looking at film and watching things I can get better at.
Thanks, players.
Move on to questions for Coach. Start.
So you guys gave up 93 points, but I think at one before the last 2 minutes, you guys had held them to like 44% shooting. So how